Hello again. So, we're gonna go back a little bit more to talk about the proposal before we even write it, right? The things that we need to know. So, one thing that we need to know is that we are a business. We deliver a service or multiple services, and our services vary depending on what it is that the client want. There are things that we just don't do, right? We do architecture, but we don't do, let's say, marketing for people. So we got to understand what we do and be able to translate that to our customers so that they understand what they're getting. We have this on our introduction template where we talk about our services. I want everybody to become familiar with this. And our services vary. We're not a chameleon. We don't do it all for everybody. We're actually very well defined into what it is that we do and what it is that we don't do. And our services vary on the things that we do, depending on the intensity and the level of detail that the client wants. So as it says in here, depending on the client expertise, the project complexity, and the level of detail, the project schedule and budget, we've developed 3 levels of services. Okay, so and this goes back to our Greek orders, right? We understand Ionic, Doric, and Corinthian, which are the orders, and they very well define our services. Listen, if you want a Corinthian level of service, you're gonna get what you pay for, right? If you want an Ionic or Doric, you're gonna get what you pay for. And what does that mean? It's the amount of work that we have to put into the service, the amount of detail that we got to put into the service, but also the amount of value that we got to put into the service. Value is critical. It's not even how long it takes us. It's how much value that's generating to our customers. We got to become value generating members of Flow, right? That's our bread and butter, right? We design a beautiful thing. That's great. Yeah, awesome. How much value is that generating? How important that is, right? So depending on these 3 levels of services, as I said, it all depends on the craftsmanship, the intensity, and the level of detail, but also the knowledge that the customer has. Because if a contractor comes to me and wants some drawings for a project, he knows about construction. For me, I don't have to explain a whole lot to him to understand how to do something. Or ideally, I wouldn't have to. But if it is a person that have never done a project and they're undertaking this on their own, they're going to need to know a lot more, and they're going to need a lot more, right? The detail has to be much more well crafted for somebody that doesn't know, and very well explained, almost dumb-proof, right? Or user-friendly for these people. So that's how we generated this, and we created this out of many reasons, right? There were many reasons why we created these levels of services. One of them is we want to serve a variety of people, right? We don't want to just do Corinthian level of projects. They're great, they're amazing, but there are not that many of them out there, right? If you live off of a certain type of food and there's not much of that food, you're gonna starve. But if you actually can provide services to a variety of people, you're most likely to survive and thrive, which is what we're doing here at Flow Design. We're thriving every single day. Because I don't want people to shop around, right? I want to be able to give them exactly what they want for a price that meets their criteria and they're happy with. Without compromising my services and the integrity of what it is that we're giving. So that's a little bit about our services and how we work. I'm going to get more in detail later, but understanding that a Doric is a different type of project as a Corinthian is or an Ionic project is, right? And the clients are all going to get exactly what it is that they need for the price that they can afford, without compromising the integrity of our work, the integrity of our design, and the integrity of the things that we do here at Flow. There is a minimum standard level of services. We don't go anywhere less than that, right? A maximum, well, the sky is the limit. We always want to go up. But the minimum level of services that meets the criteria, that's a Doric, right? Then the middle bracket, which it is what I always put people in, Ionic, that's in the middle, right? And these diagrams very clearly define them, right? They're a little bit more involved. I'm going to talk about each one of these more in depth, so that when you're writing a proposal, when you're going to meet with a client, you're thinking, what level of service is this person needing or desiring, so that you can price it appropriately.